Members of the U.S. State Department say they plan to return to Ukraine soon as Russia continues to step up threats and attacks around the country. NBC's Bree Jackson now in Washington with the latest.
Good morning, Ben. Russia warns that the threat of World War III is real if the West continues to provide weapons to Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say a third mass grave was found in Mariupol and claim civilians were forced to dig it in exchange for food and water. The UN secretary says the violence must end.
I came to Moscow as a messenger of peace.
After his meeting with Vladimir Putin, the UN says Russia's president agreed in principle for the Red Cross to help evacuate civilians from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol. Russia is still ramping up its attacks and rhetoric, saying the risk of World War III is real if the West continues to supply weapons to Ukraine.
Специальной военной операции.
As soon as it ends up in Ukraine, these arms and hardware become legitimate goals and targets for our military.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin pressed allies to send even more military support and heavier weapons, despite Russia's warning.
It's dangerous, and any kind of rhetoric like that, I think is unhelpful.
On Capitol Hill, the Secretary of State urges Congress to keep the flow of arms and humanitarian aid going.
I have to tell you, I felt some pride in what the United States has done to support the Ukrainian government and its people, and an even firmer conviction that we must not let up.
Helping Ukraine win this war and making sure Russia does not have the means to start future conflicts. Defense Secretary Austin says the U.S. and its European allies have formed a contact group. They'll meet monthly to discuss the strategy for Ukraine to defeat Russia. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for Wake Up Charlotte.